What's up, comic fans, and it's time to preview the comic books coming out July 9th, alright? So we got spec books, we got spotlight books, we got FOC books, and we got the rest of the books coming out this week, and we're going to do it all right after this. Welcome back, alright. If you've been here before, you know how we do. We start off with the spec books, but we got a little preamble, a little precursor before we get started. Previews were a pull box. It looks like they are defunct, probably laid off a bunch of workers, so there's not a lot of info coming out of there. So we've revamped today's video, and it's going to be starring the League of Comic Geeks, alright? So that's going to be my primary website that I'm going to use to do the preview show, and then we got some guest appearances from Key Collector Comics, and we also have the great State of Comics. So as we figure out how we're gonna revamp the video, we're gonna try some new things. So let's get started. All right. First off, we got Legacy, Star Wars Legacy of Vader number 6. We got a first appearance of another Jedi who survived Order 66. Alright, Jedi Grandia. So that's why this is here, Legacy of Vader number 6. You never know when a new Jedi is gonna pop off, so we put that on here. Alright, next off we have Uncanny X-Men number 17. This is really just a dope cover, but this is the first appearance of Misery, a mutant villain from a horror film? Murder Me Mutina. Alright, so that's cool. That's all I got. This is just a really dope. I haven't read Uncanny probably since, I don't know, like the 5th issue or something like that. But this just looks like a good time. Alright. Next up and last on the spec list, The Unchosen number 1. David Marquez actually did, I believe, the cover for Uncanny X-Men number 17, and now here he is with his own book, The Unchosen. He's basically the main writer and artist on this creator-owned series out of Image. 13-year-old Ada wakes in a city laid waste by a massive explosion, a scene of devastation that she caused. Alright, and this book has been described as like a mix of many different genres, but it seems like it's going to be a cool like discovery thing, except looking for the cure. They're looking for the cause of destruction. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go. Let's move on. This is Big Rig number 1. Apparently that's coming out tomorrow. It says limited to 4,000 boxes. I think 10,000 boxes were made. I'm not quite sure because there is a 1 in 10,000 diamond variant by Peach Momoko. But for some reason I think only 4,000 of these boxes were distributed. Anyway, you get a couple guaranteed comics in this collector's box, if you will, and then a couple of possible other variants, including some there's some 1 of 1s, there's some 1 in 500s, not 1 in 1 of 1. There's some 1 in 500s, there's some 2 in 25s, some 1 in 500s, some 1 in 10,000s, and some 2 in 25s that make it 1 in 12.5, and then you get some guaranteed covers to be in this box. So a couple articles I read, and Key Collector has this coming out tomorrow for Big Rig. If you don't know, this is Post Malone's comic, and it is also scheduled to have a film come out around it, so we'll see how that does. Alright, let's get into the spotlight books. First off, we have Fantastic Four number 1 coming out. Alright, pretty good creative team on this. You got Humberto Ramos on the cover. I believe he's also doing the interiors, and you got Ryan North writing this book. Alright, Victor Alazaba on the ink, and Edgar Delgado as the colorist. That's a pretty good art team right there. So I believe this is the 9th volume of the Fantastic Four. And yeah, we'll see how this turns out. As you can see, there are a ton of covers. I didn't pre-order this book. I figure I will find a copy somewhere, whether it's the A cover, B cover. I think my comic shop is actually going to pull this What If cover for me, because they've been pulling the Disney covers for me. So that's probably the one we'll end up with. Maybe we'll grab an A cover too. But there are a ton of covers, so we'll see them in person. Scotty Young is doing a 5 cover connecting set, so that should be interesting. Here is cover A on that. Well, not cover A, but issue 1 of the connecting set, Scotty Young. Alright, moving on. We have the Marvel Swimsuit Special, Friends, Foes, and Rivals #1. Yeah, it's heroes and I guess villains in bikinis and bathing suits. There is one really cool cover. There is the Mark Brooks cover, so that we're looking forward to. It is a wraparound, so if I see that, I'll probably grab it. Otherwise, I'm gonna pass, but I'll grab the wraparound cover if possible. Alright, last of the Spotlight books, we have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #2. Miles is going to meet up with the Black Panther from the Ultimate Universe, and we'll see where it goes. You got Dennis Kemp and Cody Ziegler writing this, so that's a pretty good writing team on the comic. And yeah, basically Billy got pulled into the Ultimate Universe, and we got Miles here trying to retrieve Billy. So fun stuff. Alright, let's move on. We're at the FOC books, and we got Fantastic Four #2. This comic brought to you by State of Comics website. Not a sponsor of the channel, but I've been using them to figure out some FOC books for a little bit, and we're gonna give them a shout out. State of Comics, go check them out. Yeah, this is issue 2 of the Scotty. This is issue 2, and this is the second part of the connecting covers by Scotty Young. As you can see, Mr. Fantastic. I guess they're all out in space, and he's trying to hold them all together. I'm sure you could find all 5 covers online if you look. But Thing was on issue 1, and 2 is on issue 2. Alright, moving on with the FOC books, we have the Ultimates #15. We have the first appearance of Shang-Chi. Ultimate Shang-Chi. So that's cool. Alright, moving on. We have Batman #1 FOCing. This is cover N. This is the Blind as a Bat sealed variant. So it says cover coming soon. It's a blind variant anyway. It's going to be in a bag. We just can't see what's in the bag, or what the bag's art is going to be. Here's the main cover, in case you're wondering what the main cover will look like on this reboot of the Batman series. Matt Fraction will be writing this, and Jorge Jimenez will be continuing his run as a Batman artist. Alright guys, let's get into the comic books coming out this week, coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, July 9th. We're going to start off with Marvel. We have Uncanny X-Men #17. Alright, we have that new mutant on that one. New villain, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #2, the meeting of Miles and the Black Panther. We also have Miles Morales Spider-Man #35 with a pretty cool cover. Fantastic Four #1 is out. We talked about that. You got Magic #7. Laura Kinney Wolverine is on issue #8. Fantastic Four First Steps #1 is out. With the cover A and B. The only thing different on both covers is the suit. One is from the movie and one is from the comics. Alright, it's a prelude to the movie. So if you want to, see where the movie's going, go ahead and grab that comic. Doctor Strange of Asgard is on issue #5. Red Hulk #6. Star Wars Legacy of Vader #6. We talked about that. That's got a new Mutant on there. We have the Marvel Swimsuit Special Friends and Foes Rivals #1 issue. Predator Black, White, and Blood #1 is also out this week. It's Jeff Infinity Paws #1. That's a reprinting of the online comic. Fantastic Four #7 gets a facsimile. The World to Come #1 gets a second printing by Dan Panosian. Let's see. The Amazing Spider-Man #4 gets a second printing. Right. And there's a 1 in 25 for that. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell #2 gets a couple of second printings. And Fantastic Four #7 gets a facsimile. What else? Giant Size X-Men #1 gets a second printing. And Predator vs. Spider-Man #1 gets a second printing. Alright, moving on. We're at DC and we have Absolute Superman #9. Yeah, it's Superman versus the baddies. Let's see. If I click this, it's gonna mess up the whole flow. But it's been a long day, so I'm kind of drawing a blank. But yeah, Superman, the Omega Men are in pursuit. They're not the bad guys though, because Lazarus Corp is actually the bad guys here. Now look, if I press back, it's gonna add all the comics back, but that's cool. We can fix that. We just do this and we click DC, and boom. Now we only have DC. And if I want, I can click here or not. Should be able to click there. Nope. How about there? Yeah, and everything disappears. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. What else do we have coming out of DC? We're gonna skip ahead a little bit. We have Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice #1. Alright, this is part 2 of what was it? Gotham by Gaslight, Kryptonian Age, or the Krypton Age. What else do we have? Absolute Batman #3 gets a 4th printing. Wonder Woman #4 gets a second printing. Wonder Woman #3 gets a 3rd printing. Absolute Superman #3 gets a second printing. And All-Star Superman #1, the AMC Dan Moore Superman opening night IMAX fan event variant. Hopefully I'll grab one of those. I am going Thursday to see Superman. So yeah, hopefully they'll have one of those for me. Alright, we're off to Image Comics. Transformers #22 with a pretty fun cover. What else? You got Radiant Black, Power Fantasy, you got Farmhand #23, The Unchosen #1, we talked about that. Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1 gets a 3rd printing. Image Comics Revival #1 gets a facsimile edition. Jenny Frizen on that cover, and you know that was recently pegged for a production. Alright, we're off to Titan Comics. What do we have out on Titan? You have Conan the Barbarian #22, The Savage Sword of Conan #9, Solomon Kane, The Serpent King #4, and Return to Skull Island. You got a little King Kong action #1. Alright, we're moving on. We're now at Dark Horse. You have FML #5. That was a fun series. I think I read the first 3 issues, so I gotta catch up on that one. Magic Order 5 #6. If you haven't been reading the Magic Order, it's a fun read. I definitely recommend that. Alright, we're off to Image. No, this is Boom. Here comes the Boom. Ready or not. How do you like? Hello Darkness #12 is out. Boom Studios, and then Uncanny Valley is on issue #10. Alright guys, we're going to do the rest of the comics coming out this week. We have Webtoon, that's a web-based anime, well, manga site. So we're going to just briefly go through those. You got Viz Media in here, right? So pretty soon we will be past all these. This cover's missing or not safe for work, or spoiler covers, so those aren't being shown. Before We Sail #1 out of another publisher, but hey, that's a #1. Panini Comics Batman y Robin Año Uno #4, Batman and Robin Year 1, number 4 out of Panini Comics. I'm guessing Panini is a foreign comic. Alright, so here we still have a lot of the manga, webtoon, Sonic the Hedgehog number 14. Hey, Keen Spot. Greenhorns number 3. Alright, we'll start to see some of the comics that aren't manga start to get in here. Planet Death number 0, second printing for $1.99. That's out of Bad Idea. Also, I believe Planet Death number 1 is coming out this week. So, looks like just a good entertaining comic. That one. What else? Toxic Avenger Comics number 1. That's out of Ahoy. What else? Oni Press Blood Type number 2. You have Archie Comics, Archie Meets Jay and Silent Bob number 1. That's a one-shot right there. This Planet Death number 1 out of Bad Idea. Right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation. That's on issue number 3. And we have the sequel to Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. With Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Passage number 1. Okay, comic fans, you could have been in the world. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Appreciate that. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for this week's books. Deuces. Peace. We're out. Ka-chink.